Good evening, everyone. Phil here. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Saturday, the 6th of January, 2024. A great, full, fun streaming day for me, and lots of gameplay as well as some updates regarding some things, new stuff, changes, new channels, excitement going on around here. So let's recap it all. First of all, on today's Level 1 podcast, a big segment once again about DSP Throwback, because now the channel's been live for 3 days. And we have had 2 videos live of the Final Fantasy XIII original playthrough, now upscaled, remastered, video edited together, and a third one went live this morning. So with all of that going on, it was very exciting to talk more about it and say the views are pretty good. Part 1 has thousands of views, Part 2 is reaching 1,000 views, and I certainly expect that the performance of the videos on there will trail off. Right now there's some initial curiosity because it's a brand new channel. And plus, it's Final Fantasy XIII. It's an ongoing JRPG. It's not going to garner insane amounts of views on each part. It's not an action-based game. You know what I'm saying? But so far, I'm pleased with how it's going on that channel. In fact, we're on pace that probably within about a week to a week and a half could possibly repartner the channel. And, you know, then there would be ads on the videos over there, which would help, obviously. Get a little bit of additional income. So, good stuff. We also had a big Q&A segment where we talked about various different topics. I definitely recommend it's a good watch. If you didn't see the podcast this morning, you give it a look. Resident Evil 0 Remastered, my second session of it today, the second set of 3 hours, so basically we're 6 hours into the game now. We had arrived at the end of the last stream at the second mansion, meaning it's not the Spencer mansion for Resident Evil 1, but it's another mansion where a lot of stuff goes down. Let me tell you guys something, man. Playing this on hard, like, I remember particularly, now that I'm thinking about this Resident Evil 0 playthrough, I'm starting to remember things about it. I remember very difficult portions of it in my initial run, because you guys had me play it on hard 8 years ago. This run is just as difficult. Even though I've played it 8 years ago, I don't distinctly remember much about this game. So I'm running into rooms, there's 4 zombies in my face. I'm like, dude, I have like 10 bullets. How am I supposed to kill these zombies? It's pretty rough. It's a pretty difficult game when you're playing it on hard. It seems like there's either more enemies or the enemies are better bullet sponges. And you just don't have a lot of means of ammo to get past these things. I've had to run by a bunch of them and then take a bunch of damage. I had to reload a few times and try some various different tactics. But I'm getting there. Like today, tons of progress. We basically cleared almost the entirety of the mansion. When you get to a certain point, you only have like 2 or 3 rooms left to go, and then you got to go into this underground area. They call it the basement, which is hilarious because it's totally not like a basement. It's like a dungeon with all this stuff under there. So we're currently like down there doing stuff. But man, yeah, I died a bunch today. Here's the thing. I don't rage at games in the modern day like I used to. I'm sure if I played this 8 years ago, I was probably raging at this game and getting pissed off at it. Today, I'm like not as pissed off. I'm like, just damn. Like, they really stacked on the difficulty by playing on hard. There's just not a lot of resources in this game. You know, even the grenades, the grenade launcher doesn't seem to do that much. I'm hitting zombies and spiders with explosive and incendiary grenades, and it's like barely doing damage. I'm like, dang. Like, this is hard. So, but the thing is, we made progress. We're kind of right now at a sticky situation spot where I am boxed into a room by a bunch of monkeys. And I don't really have a lot of ammo, and that's where I saved. So when we continue later this week, it's going to be interesting. The funny part is I started talking to everyone in the chat, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is this the infamous playthrough where I got stuck? Because in a room, there's a bunch of hunters, and I had no ammo and no health, and I had to run into this room of hunters and get an item from one end, turn around, and run back through the room of hunters and not getting hit. And masterfully doing it, and it took me many tries, but I did it, and I continued on with the game, and people were like, yes, we think that this is that playthrough. I was like, oh my god. So now it's coming till I'm remembering now. Like, 8 years ago, this was a really hard game, and this is, oh my god, when we get to that part, it's going to be a nightmare, right? But I guess we're going to do it. So, Resident Evil 0 Remastered, good progress, great fun. Some rage, but not too much, more just kind of accepting my fate. And having a good time with it so far, okay? Tonight's late stream was Sea of Stars. This was my third stream of it, so we're heading now 6 hours in the Sea of Stars. Wow, the game is just getting even better. We're unlocking new abilities. Went to the first major town, a first dungeon, you know, fighting new enemies, epic boss fight, interesting story developments, cool new game mechanics. I'll tell you this now, definitely this game is turning more now into Golden Sun. Golden Sun is an RPG that infamously has dungeons where you use abilities like psychic abilities, elemental abilities to move objects, solve puzzles, platform around. That's what the dungeons in the game are. So, dude, it's Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG, Suikoden, Golden Sun. Those are the 4 references I've got so far. I'm wondering what else they're going to toss into this thing. Because, man, does it feel like a big combination of all these classic JRPGs from back in the day. Loved it. Had a great chill time with the audience. It was the perfect juxtaposition to last night's Street Fighter stream that was frustrating. This was more of a very relaxing, fun stream to just hang out with the audience. We had a great time. Chill vibes. The only bummer about this is that because of the week that's coming up, I can't play this again until next Saturday. Yeah, I can't play Sea of Stars again for a week. And I was like, oh no, I had such a great time tonight. To have to wait a whole week, that's going to suck. That might actually turn off some viewers from wanting to come back and watch, which really stinks. Why? Well, let me tell you. Because here's the schedule for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, it's the Level 1 podcast, my weekly React show, DSP versus the Internet on DSP React. And tomorrow night, I can't do gameplay because I have to film the private React videos for my patrons for the month, of which I have at least 3 to film. So I have to take the night, plus I need to work on my year-end series, so I can't stream tomorrow night. Monday, it's Baldur's Gate 3 and the most disappointing games of the year countdown on the late stream. That's going to be the longest countdown by far because it's going to have a good amount of games and I have a lot to say about them. So it's going to be a long one. Tuesday, more Resident Evil 0 Remastered, and then it's going to be the viewer's choice of the best playthroughs of the year, followed by my personal picks for the Game of the Year awards. So there you have it. That's going to be lengthy. And then Wednesday, more Baldur's Gate 3, and Wednesday night, I've been hinting at this every day, a very special mystery late night stream on Wednesday night. If you can make it that night and be here, I think you're really going to enjoy it. It should be a really great time if you can make it. Please be here Wednesday night for that special stream, but that's all I'm saying. I am not spoiling it whatsoever. Everyone is speculating what the stream's going to be. I don't think anyone's got it right yet, so be here Wednesday night for that, okay? But as you can see, I'm booked for the freaking week. And then Thursday's my day off. Of course, we have Friday night fights on Friday, so that's what I mean. I can't play Sea of Stars again until Saturday of next week. But the good news is, next week, no Game of the Year stuff, no weird stuff. It should be a standard week, in which case we can probably play Sea of Stars multiple times, which will be great because I can't wait for it, okay? So, thank you all for understanding. Great streaming day today. One final update. If you didn't, again, watch the podcast, every day DSP Throwback should have new videos. At least that's the intention. Please give me your feedback on the channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's youtube.com/@DSP Throwback. 3 parts are live of Final Fantasy 13 right now. More coming over the week and into the coming weeks. The thing that we started talking about this morning is instead of doing all of Final Fantasy 13 in one go, maybe we do a good amount, like maybe a week or 2 straight of Final Fantasy 13, and then maybe instead of just doing that nonstop, we mix it up, and I swap over to a different playthrough, right? So maybe I do either L.A. Noire or Red Dead Redemption, and then we can have alternation, so it's not just the same JRPG every day. You could have Final Fantasy, a little bit of the other one, and then go back and forth. That way not everyone is bored just watching the one. I think that might actually bring in more audience too, because people might want the variety on the channel. Let me know your thoughts, all right? But check it out. Let me know what you think. Everyone, thank you. Great streaming day. Have a good night. I'll see you all for the podcast and the React show in the morning. Peace out. See you then. Bye-bye.